Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike, and I've got another horror movie update for you today. Today we're talking Evil Dead Rise, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. It was announced just a little while back that they were planning on doing some sort of a requel with I Know What You Did Last Summer, but something kind of fishy's up in the air, because at the time they announced this whole thing was going to happen, if you check back a couple videos ago, we talked about it, that they're planning on doing some sort of a passing of the torch with I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. Now, they just did that show on Amazon that just seemed way off the mark to me, and to all 17 people who watched it. But this time they said, we're doing sort of a passing of the torch, and we want to bring back Freddie Prinze Jr., and we want to bring back Jennifer Love Hewitt. And then you're like, okay, now you have my attention. At least for me, my perceived love of I Know What You Did Last Summer as a movie itself just came out of a nostalgia, because when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, the problems that were there before are just overshadowing the entire movie to me now, to the point where I still Know What You Did Last Summer a lot better. Which one of those is your favorite, by the way? I really enjoy the sequel a lot more these days. This story about Freddie Prinze Jr. has come out, and not only has he told the 2Fab podcast that a bunch of bad stuff happened when he originally filmed I Know What You Did Last Summer that before now was unknown, but he also says that he hasn't even been spoken to. He doesn't even own a gun, much less that would necessitate a gun rack when it becomes to this requel. Here's what he said. He said, I have been offered nothing. Nothing! Erroneous! Erroneous on all counts. He said they just said that to get people excited. I haven't spoken to anyone at their company. My agents haven't received an offer from them whatsoever. I had a conversation with the director a few days after they announced that, just to be like, yo, what the hell? Why are they saying I'm going to be in a movie I'm probably not going to be in? And she said, let me pitch you the idea. So she's spoken to me about the idea, but I haven't said yes. I haven't received an offer. I have no reason to lie to anyone. I have no skin in the game. I'm only going to do things that I like and work with people that I like, and there's not going to be any wiggle room this time around. I messed up the first time around. This time I just want to do stuff I'm passionate about. This is a bad way to start for a movie that I feel like the audience is divided on whether or not they're even willing to see when it comes to I Know What You Did Last Summer requel. I'm an absolute filthy whore, so I want to see it. But that's just me. But I mean, it's a bad foot for it to start out on, especially since they just assumed, oh, Freddie Prinze Jr., of course he'll do it. I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy, despite how you feel about his acting abilities and whatever and his career, pretty sure he's got quite a bit of money in the bank, probably able to pick and choose a lot of stuff, that Scooby-Doo money, you know what I mean? But same thing with Josh Hartnett. Like, Josh Hartnett kind of had this same attitude. He was like, no, I appreciate it, but I don't want to do a Halloween sequel. I don't want to do anything with, I don't know if he said that about The Faculty, but he's doing sometimes VOD movies, artsy movies, stuff like that. He's just picking and doing stuff that he really enjoys. I can't believe that they released that without ever speaking to him whatsoever at all. And I feel like this is something that might be happening nowadays a lot, because how many times do you see, I think it just happened with Marvel with the Kevin Feige Star Wars movie. How many times do you see in movies announced and it's a big news story and it sticks in the cycle for like the day because not a whole lot else is going on, and then only 6 months later that project falls through, or they just start something else without announcing it, never went through. I feel like Hollywood's getting kind of bad about throwing stuff out to the trades and to leakers and to whoever, just to get some stuff talking, to see what the interest is, to gauge the interest, and with no intentions of ever actually doing it. I don't know that's what's going on with I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I know it's pretty effing shady to just put somebody in the movie that you haven't even spoken to about the movie yet, and it doesn't sound like he's all that interested in doing it. But maybe he's just playing hardball. You want to play hardball? I'm game. What movie is that from? Comment down below. But that is interesting. But all that being said, I would love to see Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt come back. Another crazy Freddie Prinze Jr. I Know What You Did Last Summer story that just came out. He says he's never seen the original until just now for his podcast, had never watched the movie before. He says, I hate my face, I hate the way I sound. And then he also revealed that he almost quit acting because of the way that John Gillespie was treating him on set. He said, when I got there, the guy said, look, I don't want you for this role. And he's like, they actually wanted Jeremy Sisto for the role. If you don't know who that is, he's Elton from fucking Clueless. You know, the guy who messes up the game of Suck and Blow on purpose and also left his Cranberry CD in the quad. But he said the director said, hey, I didn't want you for this. And he said from there, he was just basically being treated like shit by the guy the entire time. He would give other people notes. He would do this and that. He said he almost died in one of the boat special effects moments in the scene. The whole article is very in-depth, and it's got a whole lot of stuff that he said about it, so you can check it out for yourself. But he said he actually almost got on a plane, almost left. But then there's an article with Digital Spy from a while back where the director, way before this, where the director was talking about how the fact that the studio and others didn't want him, and that he screen tested 4 or 5 times, and that he really fought to help him get that part and really wanted him to have that part. So that's kind of weird, and 2 different sides of the story going on there. So I don't know, look at that however you want to. Freddie Prinze Jr. said, ironically, it was Ryan Felipe was the one who was like, hey man, you know, he was just talking him through it and telling him, hey, you worked for this role, you earned it, don't let that guy stop you, and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And he goes on to say that I really appreciate my time there. That's where I met my wife, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and all this stuff like that. So who knows what's going on with that, but it sounds like he has a bad taste in his mouth from it overall anyways. Comment down below, how do you guys feel about that whole thing? Just the whole thing. Do you have any faith right now in this I know what you did last summer thing, or what? I would still love to see it, because that's nostalgia fun for me, and put it in a slasher box, slap it in the theaters, and I'm good to go. And I feel like you bring in Kevin Williamson and some others, they can really, that's the kind of movie that needs to be remade. You know what I mean? Like, don't remake great, perfect films so that they could just make a shittier, shinier version of it. Remake films that were good ideas and that had pillars that just didn't flesh out the right way. I think it's the perfect kind of film to remake, to be honest with you. On to some happy news. Evil Dead Rise premiered at South by Southwest last night, and the reactions are butt crack crazy insane. Insane crazy. When I say Hussein, you say shady. From what I gathered from everything that I've put together from all these reactions of people coming out of South by Southwest, and you do have to watch out for these sometimes, because it's in a packed audience of people who extremely, very badly want to be there and are pumped for the movie. So the kind of experience with the actors and everybody on hand, sometimes you get some hyperbole coming out of these things like that, hyperbole. I still don't know how to say that word. Got in an argument with my wife the other day about it. I'm divorced now. I should take this off. Weird thing to get divorced about, I know. Mind your fucking business. Anyways, I'm just kidding. What I'm saying is this. You do have to watch out for this, oh my God, best movie of all time stuff when it comes out of this stuff. But I have no fear here. I love what Lee Cronin did with A Hole in the Ground. I love Sam Raimi. I love that whole team. Everybody working on it. The trailer, I think, is the best trailer of the year. Saw it on the big screen when I went to see Scream 6 and was just blown away by it. So I'm not surprised to see what I'm seeing at all. But basically what I gather from everybody who was there is that it's a mix of the tone between like an Evil Dead 2. There's some funny stuff in it. But most importantly, it feels like a spiritual successor to the 2013 remake, which to me, I couldn't think of 2 things in the franchise to put together any better than that. Putting those 2 versions of the franchise together is like the unholy triumvirate, but with just 2 things instead of 3, which makes it a non-triumvirate. Hey, you know what? Watch your fucking mouth when you look at me. But it's currently sitting at 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with the early reviews. Only 7 reviews, but damn. I heard that the family aspect of the movie is extremely emotional, and it sounds like this movie's just got it fucking all. So if you check out those reviews for yourself, people are saying this movie is insanely intense, it's terrifying, and it's got a lot of black humor in it. So it sounds like you know what it sounds like? It sounds like 2023 made a good goddamn Evil Dead film. Our last piece of news, last but not least, Smile 2 is in the works. Yeah, sort of. When you read a bunch of headlines, they're like, Smile 2 is in the works from Paramount. It's like, not exactly. What the actual story here from The Hollywood Reporter is that Paramount hopes and would love for him to make a Smile sequel, but it's not clear exactly what his first project or what his projects will be. They just expect him to write, produce, and direct features for Paramount. So he signed a first look deal, and this is just a lot of people's expectations that he will do a Smile sequel, and they're probably right on that, because considering if the studio wants it, if it made all this money, odds are it's going to happen, even if he just ends up producing it and someone else directs it while he works on something else. It sounds like it's happening for sure. But hey, the best news for horror fans here is that Parker Finn signed this huge first look deal with Paramount. And the reason for that is like it's the one thing that's going to subvert and take Hollywood back to original stuff. Everybody always says Hollywood's out of ideas, all we do is remakes and nostalgia and sequels, and you're not wrong. But what's beautiful about this is with the Jordan Peels of the world and the Parker Finns and the dude who just did Barbarian, whose name I can't remember, Craig Baxter, something like that. If these big directors have original hits that go to the movie theaters and break box office records and do awesome shit like this, and then all of a sudden they become the IP, and then they want them to continue to create original content. Every time Jordan Peele does a movie, it's an original thing, and yet it's a big, huge deal. Ari Aster, same thing. If we keep this going, then we're not going to have to rely on nostalgia and requels and remakes all the time. It's going to be about the director, the creator behind it, doing original stuff, and it's the best possible situation for horror. Horror is not only killing it yesterday, that's killing it today, and it looks like it's got the brightest future out of all the genres, especially when you look at superhero fatigue and what's going on with that. It's a good time to be alive, folks. Good time to be a horror fan. Good time to I'm so excited that it's March Madness right now. I hope your bracket's doing good, unless you're in one of my fucking leagues. In that case, I hope you die. Nah, I didn't mean that. I hope that your teams suck a lot. Unless we have the same ones. And then that's high five. Hey, look at us. Love your all fucking faces. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. We'll see you soon. Halloween never ends, suck my fucking dick, and I don't really care what Blumhouse fucking says. Put him in a box, or suck a fucking cock. You can say he's dead, but we all know he's not, yeah. So let's go trick-or-treating, let's go fucking drinking, let's all go rent Pumpkinhead on VHS, cause Halloween never